Good afternoon, guys. It is March 30th, 2020. In this video here, I want to talk about some of my thoughts on air quality and what's important in a vacuum cleaner. Well, as most of you probably know, we're in the middle of a health crisis right now, and this virus outbreak is it's not good. So I want to talk to you today about vacuums and their filtration. First of all, if you have a bagless vacuum, please think about getting rid of it. It's really not going to do you squat. And if you have it, empty it outside. Empty it outside. Do not empty it in your house. Under any circumstances, but especially right now. Because you're just undoing everything you just did and not getting rid of it. So, I'm going to talk about a couple things now. When it comes to vacuums, you need to pay attention to stuff like this. Sanitairs that have a shakeout bag, I've never been a fan of those. I think they're nasty, and they're just a pain in the butt to deal with. That's just my personal opinion. And again, those you need to empty outside. Now, the F&G bags are better, but I think you're still gonna have some issues. I hate to say it, but the F&G bags are only so thick, and sometimes stuff gets through them, and they don't filter that well. So, just something to be aware of and be careful of. And the fabric bags aren't really that great either, and you've been using this material for the shakeout bags and the F&G setup for way too long. I know it's a commercial vacuum, but like really, this is not acceptable in a hospital. As good as they are, they're not acceptable for a hospital to use in their facilities. There's just way too much pollution. And air quality and air purification is extremely vital, absolutely vital in a hospital environment, and especially right now, you do not want to be spreading stuff around. So, there we go. Now, the Kirby, on the other hand, is better. I wouldn't say it's 100%, but you do have the HEPA bag, and the outer bag is better quality. I don't think it's like tons better, but it's better quality. And you have HEPA bags here, which these will filter out a ton of stuff. I mean, there's like hardly anything that comes through these. I mean, there's a tiny bit of discoloration, but it's very minimal. And it's mostly on the back of the bag. The front, I don't see anything. it's just, yeah. And these don't advertise to eliminate these particles, but they do reduce them significantly. Another thing I will say is whenever you're dealing with a bag or a bagless vacuum, I don't care what it is, if you're touching a bag like I am, wash your hands afterwards right now. You just don't know where this stuff is lurking, so just be cautious. I don't want us to panic, but just be aware of that. Now, my Eureka the Boss Smart Vac, which is actually downstairs right now, uses paper bags, which is okay. But the biggest thing is it uses an actual HEPA filter. And so, got a replacement here with a good seal, like a rubber gasket. So, in theory, which really I do not think very much gets out of that machine, if anything, that has got to be probably one of my best filtering machines, as well as this. If you have an Oreck, you can get HEPA bags for those. I have an Oreck. I do not have HEPA bags right now, but I have paper bags that I got when I got it, so I tried to use those up, and I still have quite a few left, so it's going to be a while until I get through them. But, just be aware. And I will say that a bag is better than a bagless. Even if it is paper and that's all it is, I mean, it's better than nothing. So, there's something to be aware of. And yeah, these are nice because you can, this is how you take them out. You can just pull them out, and before stuff is disturbed, you just slide that closed, and it doesn't seal everything off, but it does reduce the amount that can get out. And then just carefully fold your bag on to itself. So I would fold it in the opposite direction and stuff, and just get rid of it, So the idea is to get all of the dirt and dust, including, bacteria and viruses, out of your home. And when I say out, I mean out. Get rid of it. So, try and bag up your used bag, in a grocery sack or whatever, and just take it straight out to the dumpster outside and get rid of it. So, same thing with a bagless. Now, with a bagless vacuum, always empty it outside of the home, into a grocery sack or directly into a dumpster or something, because that's just not very sanitary. Another thing is, if you have an air purifier, use it. It will help. We're in allergy season right now. We're moving into April. So, yeah, these are just some things to think about. Again, I don't mean to like blow stuff up into a big deal, but you really gotta think about it. I mean, think about what is on your shoes. Okay, I read something that this virus can actually live on shoes for up to 5 days. So, really just be mindful of that. When you are dealing with your brush rollers or whatever on your vacuums, do not touch your face for any reason with your hands until they're washed. Or better yet, just wear gloves while you're dealing with it. These are just some things to really be aware of for all my fellow vacuum collectors or enthusiasts out there. So just really be aware that for those of you who have Kirby's and Sanitaires, I would personally use the Kirby's more right now just because they filter better. If you really want to go the extra step and protect your household. And, you know, these are just things to think about, because really the average consumer just thinks, oh, it just picks up dirt off the floor, so I don't really need to think about it. There is so much that you don't even see that's being picked up off your floor. And if it's not contained properly, it's coming right back out. And I'm not saying that any of these machines are perfect at keeping absolutely everything out. But I do notice a major difference between when I use the Kirby and the Sanitaire. The Sanitaire is not that bad, but I do notice that I don't smell as much coming out of the Kirby as I do with the Sanitaire. And so that's just something to think about. But your health is absolutely critical, and vacuum cleaners are a huge health component. And to be able to take care of your lungs and your family and those around you, a good bagged vacuum with good filtration, good HEPA bags, is extremely important. If you can get it, if you can afford it, do it. I mean, this is not something to just blow off. I mean, 90% of what is sold in Walmart today leaks dust all over the place. And it does not contain it. I can guarantee you that. I guarantee you that when you use it, even for the first time, everything is coming right out. And there's absolutely nothing sealed in those cheap vacuums. nothing. There's no seals around the filters. There's nothing like that. And 98 to 99% of vacuums out there from Walmart or wherever, big box stores, 98% of them are bagless, which once again is not very efficient. And I will say that I am not going to ever use a bagless vacuum in this house ever again. I can promise you that. Because after figuring out the difference in air quality and the benefits of bags, how cheap they are, how easy they are to maintain, and how long the machines last, there's really no point in going back to bagless vacuums for really any reason. And you can argue, like, oh, I just saved money on bags all you want, but you're really gonna spend more money in the long run with a bagless vacuum than you would just to buy the bags. You really will. And not to mention that to be able to take care of your health is very important. If you have any medical conditions where you can get sick easy, or a compromised immune system, containing all of these particles is absolutely vital. And so, I disagree strongly with people who argue that bagless is cheaper and more efficient. It is not. There are certain situations where they can be useful, but not very many. And if you're going to use a bagless vacuum, it better be in an outdoor environment or with the windows open in your house, because I guarantee you that stuff is coming out of those. Because the seals wear out and they just make a mess. And the filters are very expensive, they're very difficult, they clog up very easily. So it's really not worth it. And a package of bags, if you vacuum once a week, on a Kirby especially, is gonna last you probably 2 years. I am not even kidding. Now, of course, that depends on how many people you have in your house. If you have pets, how many pets, what kind of pets. But, you know, this bag that's in this Kirby right now, because I write the dates on when I put these bags in all of my machines. It's been in here since November. And it's now almost April. And it's not even close to full. And it doesn't stink. So, if you get good high quality bagged vacuums, you're gonna save a lot in the long run. And Kirby bags are probably some of the cheapest bags to run and really probably some of the cheapest vacuums on the market, period, to run. The sanitaries are probably slightly cheaper, but if I were to pick personally between the Sanitaire and the Kirby would definitely be my choice for home use. And yeah, so I just need people to really think about this, because this is absolutely essential for keeping stuff out of your lungs. You don't want this stuff in your lungs? Well, these are ways to reduce what actually goes into your lungs. If you have smokers in your house, if you have, you know, people with asthma or allergies, whatever. I mean, these are just things to think about. So just be aware of that. Now, I do have one dog. Nobody smokes in my household. Nobody has ever smoked in my household. So I can't really relate to a smoking environment too much, but I have been in houses where people smoke, and it is not pretty. It's not easy for me to breathe. And whatever ash that happens to float away, it's not good. It just stirs up. So these are just things to think about, because your health is absolutely important, with stuff. And I mean, air quality is probably one of the hardest things to control, arguably, because it just takes so much work to take, as much out of the air as you can. So, but anyway, I'm just rambling on, but here are some ideas for you. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos.